I was very fortunate in when I joined because if I had joined any sooner, it would have been very speculative as to what to do. And then if I had joined later, a lot of the work that I did probably would have been published by then. I was able to have a project like right away as a first year. I kind of lucked into the fact that right when I was ready to be able to do a lot of this work, we had just come to this idea. So with it, by the end of my first year, I kind of had my first publication, which helped set my feet under me and set me on a good path for the PhD. Hi, my name is Matthew Russo. I'm a third-year PhD student in the data systems group here at CSAIL. A lot of the focus of our group is we're trying to incorporate LLMs into modern data systems. So we're diverging a little bit in some respects from traditional databases research, and we're trying to figure out things like, how can we make it cost-effective for people, companies, and researchers to be able to ask questions and get meaningful answers over large sets of unstructured documents. And so what we've been, at least in my research, we've been working on is sort of designing systems that can automatically optimize for the questions that you want answered and try and make LLMs answer your question as cost effectively as possible. I previously was working and living in Boston for about 4 years after undergrad, and the startup that I worked at was actually founded by two professors at CSAIL, Sam Madden, who's in the data systems group, as well as Hari Balakrishnan. And so in speaking with them and getting to know them, I thought that this was kind of the natural place for me to go and pursue my PhD. And it also was a familiar place for myself and Ada. She loves it here. She loves the parks in Boston and going on our walks. So I was more than happy to stay in Boston and to work at, one of the best universities in the world. Right now, we believe there are a lot of problems and a lot of questions that businesses might have about their data, or that researchers might have about documents, like scientific papers. And if you cannot effectively apply AI to help you answer that question without it costing hundreds or thousands of dollars, then those sort of use cases and those applications are going to remain out of reach. A developer might write a program for processing a collection of documents, and what they will then specify alongside the program is, do I want to optimize for quality? Do I want to optimize for cost? And then we also explicitly allow you to say, I want to optimize for quality such that I don't spend more than $5 on this workload. And so I think that was the initial interest in the problem itself, kind of came from this realization that, hey, people are using AI to do a lot of things that kind of look like problems we've solved over the last 50 years. Is there some expertise and some lessons learned from those 50 years of research that we can apply to this very new and relevant problem today? What I love about Cambridge and Boston in general is that it's sort of like, you could think of it as like a very big small city or a small big city in some respects, which I grew up in New York City, and so it's a very different feel to city life than that. But I've actually, when I first moved here, I thought I was really going to miss New York City and be going back all the time. And actually, on the contrary, I kind of find that I really like life in Boston more in many respects. There's always something new, something exciting that you can go to, or a restaurant that I love to try. The best part about working in our lab from the perspective of a PhD student is the very collaborative nature. You're one of the best, I think, predictors of success in research is getting exposed to many different ideas, many different viewpoints and perspectives. And we have that in spades in the data systems group at MIT. And I think that the other piece is that, we have professors they're obviously extremely accomplished as academics. They also have great collaborations and ties with industry, some of that done through the CSAIL program here at MIT. And so I think that you get exposed and get access to a lot of collaborations, not just within academia, but also with industry, which is extremely relevant for databases and data systems more broadly, because in order to build novel, cutting-edge systems in this space, you really need to have access to relevant workloads in very large data sets. We have to do research that's open, that we share with the world, but we also need to work and partner with folks from industry in order to be able to answer the most relevant questions.